The old battered alarm clock rang out, jolting Mark awake. He slammed his hand down, rubbing the last remnants of sleep from his eyes as he gazed around the tiny, cramped basement apartment he called home. Mark dragged himself out of the lumpy mattress on the floor that served as his bed. He rummaged through the milk crate that contained his few clothes, pulling on yesterday's faded jeans and a torn sweatshirt. His stomach rumbled as he realized the mini-fridge contained nothing but condiment packets from fast food restaurants. Another day, another dollar, he muttered to himself as he ran his fingers through his messy hair in an attempt to smooth it. Shoving his battered wallet and an old Nokia phone into his pocket, Mark headed out into the gray, drizzly morning. The bustling streets of the city were already packed, smartly dressed professionals brushing past him as he made his way toward the wealthy part of downtown. He set up his small folding table along an alleyway, laying out his meager assortment of goods, a few paperback novels, some old watches and jewelry, and random knickknacks he had found. Over the next few hours, he managed to sell a couple items, scoring enough cash to buy a hot dog from a street vendor. As Mark sat on the curb enjoying the first bit of meat he'd eaten in weeks, he dreamed of better days, of not having to sleep on hard floors or root through dumpsters for his next meal, of making something more of himself and building a comfortable life. Mark slowly expanded his business selling refurbished goods. He moved from the streets to a small booth at the local flea market to his very own tiny secondhand shop. He worked long, grueling hours, but he was making enough not just to get by, but to start saving. After 5 more years, business boomed as more and more treasure hunters and antique buyers realized Mark had a knack for finding unique, valuable items. Soon he opened a third, even bigger store and then a fourth, until Mark found things had locations all throughout the city. Just 12 years after that fateful day when he was dumpster diving just to eat, Mark gazed out at the gleaming new headquarters of his thrift empire as the moving trucks unloaded item after item of inventory into the cavernous warehouse space. As he supervised the movers, his phone buzzed in his pocket. He glanced down at the text from his wife Emily, reminding him about their dinner reservations that evening. Mark smiled, thinking about how far they had come from their early dates at hole-in-the-wall cafes to Michelin-star dining. Emily believed in him from the very start, even when he was still hustling to sell enough watches to buy groceries. With her encouragement over the years, he grew his ambition from simply earning enough not to starve into building a full-fledged business empire. Mark checked his watch, a classic Rolex he had found and restored himself years ago, one of the first big sales that helped him begin to turn the corner. He had come so incredibly far from the days spent in a grimy basement just trying to survive. As he walked out into the bustling shop floor of his thriving company, looking forward to heading home soon to his gorgeous wife and their luxury penthouse apartment, Mark took a minute to be proud of the rag-to-riches story he had created. If he could overcome all he did, he knew anyone with grit, passion, and determination could achieve their wildest dreams.